Disclaimer: no feelings were hurt in the making of this video. However, a couple of L's were taken during the production process. Please lower your expectations. Thank you. What do all of these have in common? They all consist of kinesics. The study of body movement including both posture and gestures. So something that may look a little like this, or this, and this, well, you get the gist. In Kinesics, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. Gestures, emblems, illustrators, effect displays, regulators, and adapters. Now let's take a closer look at them. Let's begin with gestures. Those are the movements you make with your hands and arms. So basically this. And this one's still up for debate. Okay, but seriously, here's a more realistic representation of a gesture.
You left the toilet seat up again!
I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. It won't happen again.
Pause. Let me just say that that is the biggest lie I ever heard. As you can see here, Serafina's hands are positioned in a way that insinuates that she's asking a question while also conveying her current attitude. The positioning of Will's hands indicate that he's in a state of defense because he's clearly wrong. Okay, so the next one is emblems. Those are meanings in specific COMM substitute for words. So basically when a gesture completely replaces a word.
Dude, the Packers suck, man. Whatever.
As you can see by his choice of symbol, well, I think we know what he was trying to say. The next one is illustrators. Gestures that complement, enhance, or substitute for the verbal message. So basically, a gesture that physically embodies a word.
So we had 60 big-ass cakes sitting around all over the place.
As you can see by Will's gestures, he's emphasizing the size of the kegs he claims were at the party he claims he went to. But he's a liar, so... Alrighty, so up next we have effect displays. Nonverbal gestures, postures, and facial expressions that communicate emotions. So basically what you do will convey how you're feeling.
What did you do with your hair? It looks like you killed a bunch of grapes.
Look at her. Homegirl is clearly hurt. Need I say more? Now let's look at regulators. Gestures that are used to control turn-taking in conversations.
Alright, who got the juice?
Well, won't you look at that? Liar number 2. Boy, if you don't get your hand out the air. Anyway, when Serafina asked the question, Trevor was inclined to raise his hand to create a shift in conversation and answer. Lastly, we have adapters. Gestures we use to release tensions. They're what you do subconsciously to either keep yourself calm or busy, like scratching your arm or picking your nose.
Do you like Rhett?
I think we all know the answer to that question. And we were able to tell by the movements the guys were making. The question created tension, and their various gestures helped them deal with it. Let's review. Kinesics includes gestures, movements you make with your arms and hands. Emblems, gestures that replicate the meaning of a word. Illustrators, gestures that complement a verbal message. Effect displays, gestures that communicate emotions. Regulators, gestures that we use to indicate shift within a conversation. And lastly, adapters, habitual gestures that we use to release tension. In summary, all forms of kinesics identify as a gesture of some sort, which is a body movement fulfilling communicational function. Nonverbal signs help regulate the system, cueing hierarchy and priority among communicators, signaling the flow of interaction and providing metacommunication and feedback. Kinesics plays a huge role in our daily communication with each other. Defined as an accompaniment to verbal exchange, estimates are that nonverbal forms of communication compose as much as 2/3 of our behavior as a part of social interaction. In other words, most of our communication lies in how we convey the message compared to what's actually being said.